Okay, I truly believe that there is a deep-rooted problem with the attention span of my generation that goes far below the surface level. Here I just want to talk about how those problems translate into our everyday lives and into the things we love, and how it is not necessarily all bad. Okay, let us start at the beginning when we began to lose our patience. The first iPhone came out in the summer of 2007, a revolutionary innovation that I truly believe has had dire consequences for humans. In simple terms, the iPhone made things easier, which is what the purpose for all products are, to make things easier and faster. We get that. So we all of a sudden had all the information we would ever want in our pockets, all the people in our lives suddenly in our pockets. And this is not the best place to be if you are claustrophobic. Basically, what I'm saying is everything became instant oatmeal, but less runny. Over the years, the iPhone and other phones got better and faster, obviously. These app developers slowly began to figure out how to make people become addicted, because if people were addicted, it meant they were on their apps longer. 2 plus 2 equals 4, we all get this. If you want to learn more about the app developers and like the dark side of that, watch The Social Dilemma. I believe it's on Netflix, and they go into like all the details. Okay, so where am I going, you may ask? That's a good question. Let me scan my notes. Okay. Of course. What I'm getting at is we are now programmed to have gratification instantly. And if it's not instant, we lose interest and get frustrated. This may seem surface level, but I think it has translated to every part of our life. In basic terms, we want things now. We constantly feel we are falling behind our peers at such a young age and feel like we're running out of time when really we have our whole lives in front of us. Our loved ones require patience that we don't have, so those loved ones don't tend to last. We want and want and want, but know deep down the things that we want will take time, and that is overwhelming, so why try in the first place? We drown ourselves in things that don't help us grow, only things that help us stay stimulated. A study published in 2017 found ADHD diagnoses in children between the ages of 4 and 17 increased from 6.1% in 1998 to 10.2% in 2015-2016. On one hand, it could be that youth with ADHD are drawn to digital media because they seek out stimulation. On the other hand, it could be the opposite. Digital media exposure could increase risk for ADHD symptoms, which is what we focused on in our study. The reason we hypothesized that media could play a role in ADHD symptoms is because during this time in life, ages 4 to 17, the brain circuits underlying impulse control and ability to maintain focus and sustain attention are developing. Excessive exposure to highly stimulating digital content could alter the natural course of brain development. Holy shit, that was a mouthful. I don't even know what I just said. Okay, so digital media exposure increasing the risk of ADHD symptoms makes sense to me with how technology has advanced in the last 2 decades. No wonder why we are drawn to digital media. No wonder why digital media is a widespread addiction. It is the only thing that consistently stimulates us. But not all digital media stimulates us in the same way. Okay, so something that has constantly been in my life, and I'm sure in many of yours, is video games. Now, I think we would all agree that the most popular video games of today are not the highest quality of games, but the games that stimulate us the best. Yeah? Okay, so if we look at Twitch today, the top 10 games right now are scattered with shoot 'em up battle royale games and Minecraft. Now, yes, there are obvious reasons to why these games are popular. They're easy to get into and learn, they are fun to play with friends, yada yada yada. But I think the less obvious reason, and the main reason, is that they are popular because they stimulate us the best. They are fast-paced games. They are fast-paced games that have high adrenaline moments that hit us right in the feel-good spot in the brain. Those moments allow us to be fully present and not trapped in our minds thinking about the inevitable doom of our lives. Or is that just me? Lately, I've been experimenting with games and wanting to get back into more story-driven games. Indie games, but pretty much 100% of the time, let me go back. Not even necessarily indie games, but more slow-paced. It can be AAA, it doesn't matter. I just want to get back into story-driven games, okay? But pretty much 100% of the time, I grew bored and quit. I was frustrated and then thought, wait, I never really enjoyed story-driven games. I've probably beat a handful of games, Okay, I grew up a Halo and COD kid. The last time I remember beating a game is Borderlands 2, and that's not true, but for dramatic effect. Okay, so me and my crazy little brain began to think, why is that? Is it because I'm not looking for the best quality games, but the games that stimulate me the best? Digital media exposure is not all bad. If you can imagine, this table shows a handful of health promoting digital technology strategies for the aging brain, and I'm losing my mind with these big words. So since I can remember, I've battled with anxiety and depression like many others.
We all die. You either kill yourself or get killed.
What you gonna do? What you gonna do?
And recently was diagnosed with borderline personality disorder. If you don't know what that is, it's a mental disorder characterized by unstable moods, behavior, and relationships. The cause of it is not well understood. Diagnosis is based on symptoms, and symptoms include emotional instability, feelings of worthlessness, insecurity, impulsivity, and impaired social relationships. It did not surprise me to learn of this diagnosis because I've always felt a bit of underlying worthlessness and insecurity. Now, I'm sure digital media has had some negative effect on me, just like everyone else who has been overly exposed to it. But I can confidently say that it has also had a life-saving effect. I guess it is just the yin and yang of digital media. Okay, so the only thing that's consistently been therapeutic for me is video games, specifically FPS games. And not to be corny, but they make me forget about the world for a moment, you know? They allow me to be present and not trapped in my whirlwind of a brain. They may not be the highest quality of games, but they have saved me a couple times. And for that, I am thankful.